Jesus Christ, it is true. To my complete surprise, when I did this, the 4 clubs with the highest return on EBITDA.
The second question, I think, will take less answering the first, Kieran, but the first is an early Christmas present in the Maguire household, and it comes from David Stevens. And David says, when performing a suite of calculations with regard to financial analysis, one of the prevalent measures would be return on investment. Clearly, football clubs do not always offer a return on investment, and this is mentioned in your book with respect to the goals and objectives of various owners. However, I'm curious to know which teams in the Premier League and EFL, if any, have the best ROI figures and which ones have the worst. Happy for Kieran to use whatever ROI measure he feels is most appropriate.
I got this question, and the Baroness is away for a week, so I don't get the... Kieran, it's 11 o'clock and you're still playing with your spreadsheet. I said, well, the alternative is playing more time on Zelda. So you take your choices. I put the numbers into the price of football spreadsheet, and I've done it on an EBITDA basis. And for people not familiar with EBITDA is called earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. The reason why we like it in the world of financial analysis is, first of all, it gets rid of many of the subjective items in the accounts. Secondly, it gets rid of the one-off items, stadium sales, player sales, and so on. So you get what we often think is a cash type of profit. And I've always argued that cash is the most important thing, not just in football, but in business in general. And what came out, and I don't know whether this was by accident or design, it's something that we have, I think, mentioned on the show on quite a regular basis, is that from an investment point of view, investors love London. Because it's an iconic city, but also because you can charge more money. We always talk about the London weighting in terms of weight and so on. And to my complete surprise, when I did this, the 4 clubs with the highest return on EBITDA, first of all, Arsenal, second, Brentford, third, West Ham, and fourth, Spurs. And I looked at that, and then it's sort of, Jesus Christ, it is true. So London does have a premium. Why? Because you can charge more money for tickets. Yes, you're having to pay some more money on wages. So that really took me back. And you'll be delighted to know, Kevin, that Palace were 1 place in the table above Brighton.
Really?
You're getting used to that, though, aren't you?
Like in real life. Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
That's very generous of you to mention that, Kieran. And that's I was listening with great interest to the answer to that question, but when you said 4 London clubs, I was assuming which they were in my head. The Brentford one's really interesting, Kieran, because you don't necessarily associate Brentford with massive investment in the first place. But of course, this is a return on whatever it is they invested. So, I mean, that just shows that somebody at Brentford, the model they use, is a very efficient one.
Brentford, super smart club. Super smart club. You've got to give them an awful lot of credit. Then if we move to the bottom of the table, and I looked at this, 18th were Forest, who have just had a points deduction. 19th were Everton, who have just had a points deduction. 20th were Leicester, who I think it's fair to say could be starting 24. There's been a lot of conjecture that they could be starting 24, 25 on negative points. So, it's a great question from my point of view, from David, but the answers really intrigue me.